play 5 in a row. How do you do it?
I guess we just go back to, it's an interesting one, isn't it? It's, just go back to trying to play that fast, attacking footy that we know we can play, and we show in patches, but I guess it's just going back to trying to maintain that for 4 quarters, and last night we weren't able to do that, so that was disappointing, because I think our best is good enough, and we've shown that, but we haven't been able to sustain it, and that's the disappointing part.
Is that more mental, or?
I think there's a little bit of everything. There's plenty of factors that play into it. Definitely, when we lapse in quarters mentally, then you lose 2 or 3 goals pretty quickly, and as what happened in the third quarter, I guess, shows, and then from there it's tough going, I guess.
So that third quarter you thought was mental lapses was the main problem in that third quarter?
I think there was probably just little bits and pieces of that. There was some skill execution and stuff like that probably caused us to turn the ball over in areas that we didn't really want to. Gets them playing in their forward half a little bit more, and then from there, just little structural things that you will probably review a little bit more later. But little bits and pieces like that cost you a goal here or there, which, like I said, can really swing the momentum and get it going against you pretty quickly.
Do you sense that out in the field? Do you talk about it amongst the leaders and things like that?
Yeah. After as the play unfolds, you're trying to continually talk to everyone out in the field, and I guess the best time is probably after goals, when you get a chance to actually, reset and make sure that you get everything going right again. And in play, I guess it's a lot of just talking to the guys around you to try and make sure that you stay focused in the play.
Why is it? Why do you have those lapses? Like we've seen them
I guess,
a little bit throughout the years, not just an isolated incident.
No, it's not, and I guess each team goes through those momentum shifts, and the best teams are able, teams score against Hawthorn, but they don't score in the way that they, I guess, scored against us last night. They're able to sort of hold off those opposition momentum swings, and whereas we haven't been able to do that consistently enough, and that's probably the big one.
Personally, mate, how are you going? Was it the last few weeks? All stitched up and okay?
Yeah. That was another one where it ended up being 4 stitches, so there was a fair bit of blood coming out, but it probably wasn't as bad as what it was looking like last night. So just a little cut in the back of the head, and I think just the weather, the rain coming down probably didn't help the situation, because it really just meant that it just kept bleeding and pushing through the padding.
Jasper was getting some work on his groin late in the game. How's he pulled up?
Yeah, I think that was okay. I'm pretty sure it was more just a cramp situation. I'm not 100% sure though on what happened.
And Dicko, is he a chance this week? Do we know?
I'm not 100% sure either. I don't think so. I think that it was going to be a couple-week injury at least. So he was in the gym today and looking okay, but I'm not sure if he'll be training or playing this week.
Pretty brave effort from you to get out there. How was the ribs and the sort of chest area?
No, I felt okay, to be honest. Yeah, that's even over the last couple of weeks, it hasn't been really overly sore. It was probably more just a little bit stiff and tender a few days after, and from then on it sort of freed up pretty nicely. So for the game, didn't have any issues and felt fine.
You've obviously seen a vision of your head. Did you wonder, how did I get through 3 quarters and being able to stay out there with all that blood?
It was a funny one where like I said, it just wouldn't stop bleeding. They normally, put the stuff on there to stem the flow a bit, and then like the weather probably didn't help. The rain coming down, so I was fine to keep playing. It was just a matter of trying to keep wrapping it up to sort of stop it.
Brad, obviously finals is out of your control to some extent, whether you get there or not. Is there, regardless of that, what can you get out of the rest of the season?
You never know, and that's footy's a strange game where it keeps you guessing, and we always feel like we're alive. So anything's possible, and we're just making sure that we're going out to continually improve and work on those things like we talked about, where if there are lapses in games, making sure that we're trying to iron them out and just improve generally. So offensively with our skill, defensively in the way that we're setting up, we're always trying to continually improve in those areas, and I guess that keeps us motivated and keeps us going, and then the carrot that sort of dangles there is finals, but you never know what can happen there. So I think if we can just go back to making sure that we play hard and do those things, then week in, week out, and it starts this week, and the rest will take care of itself.
When do those lapses become, we're just not good enough this year?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I guess it'll be played out in the next few weeks. We'll keep attacking each week, like I said, and keep working on winning, and then we'll go from there, I guess.
Do you believe this team is good enough to play finals?
I still believe our team is definitely good enough to play finals, yeah. There's been some things that go against us in the season, like every team. So, I don't use that as excuses. But, I definitely think that our team is a good enough team to compete there.
When you talk about improvement, you're in a similar spot to this time last year. Do you feel the team's got better this year compared to last year?
Yeah, I think that we've had to play a fair few more players this year. And you've seen, Logan Austin, Tom Cleary, Darcy Byrne-Jones, more games into Brendan Archie and Sammy Gray, so across the board there's a number of guys that haven't played much football, and I think that the more that you can get games into those sort of guys, the better we can be in the future, and I think that being able to put those boys under these sort of precious situations is only going to be beneficial for them in the end. So I definitely believe that as a group we're going forward, and and I think a lot of it comes back to the fact that we're playing a lot of younger guys that are getting some experience and playing some good football.
I don't know if you've heard this, there was talk on the radio this morning. Someone was saying that perhaps there are a few people around the club that were unhappy that you weren't still a vice captain. Your reaction to something like that?
Oh mate, no, that's very silly. I think that's I'm very happy, still part of the leadership group and working with Boki and Hartsey and that. So I think that's I don't really agree with those comments.